We're not quite there yet, but we are pretty close. The second set is still on the horizon, unfortunately. We are creeping closer. I am finding myself simultaneously excited and exhausted. Just kind of give me the set already. I've never personally been a fan of spoiler seasons, and the anticipation and waiting for the set is just kind of grating for me personally. So as we're going through getting this trickle of spoilers, personally, I kind of expect that we're going to get them. I would expect by July we have the entire set, but with the rate we're going, I don't know. I'm not even really sure how much more we have left. It still seems like a third of the set or something, which is an enormous amount. But that's not quite what we're here to talk about. It's only tangential. We're going to be talking about this week's price changes for set 1. So let's get into it. The legendaries seem to, well, to be honest, you're going to see the same trend with the rares for the most part. And that trend is a downward one. This is, as I mentioned a few weeks ago, pretty expected, to be honest. Realistically, if you haven't gotten whatever cards by now, you probably weren't interested in getting them, or you would still be unable to get them for the most part. So the demand is going to be decreasing as we get closer and closer to set 2. Of course, people are excited about that. They're getting geared up. As I said a few weeks ago, I expect the prices to continue to decrease until we get closer. Of course, we have notable exceptions like Cunning and Boba Fett went up a little bit, but across the board, otherwise, the legendaries are red. And as we switch over to the rares, it's the same sort of trend where, yeah, we have a handful of things either staying static or they are gaining insignificant amounts. But for the most part, things are decreasing in price. And to be the broken record, even though I just said it like 3 times, we should see this continuing to set 2 and probably a little bit past, as everyone's going to be super excited about getting all of those set 2 goodies. After people start settling into lists, and if you are paying attention to competitive circles, there's a lot of things that people are already theory crafting and how the meta, at least initially, is going to shape up. Of course, no one's going to solve it now, let alone without the whole set. But even once we get it all, it's going to take some time. You're going to see some of the key components from set 1 start to tick back up. You could argue that eventually the reprint will keep these prices stable, but if there are core components, especially legendaries from set 1, you could probably get in at the dip around set 2, either just before or just after, that sort of thing, so that you have your play sets, because even with the reprint at the end of the year, if the game continues to grow, there's only going to be so much product. And that's the thing. At a certain point, you're going to need some of these staples, whether it's Vader or Super Laser Blast or any of the double aspect cards, and including things that you might not necessarily think about. For example, K2 is exceptionally unlikely to get the boot from aggro decks. So at a certain point, you're going to need K2 if you want to play hero aggro, right? Any hero aggro that features red wants K2, and you'd be hard-pressed to find a reason to not be in red, thereby skipping K2. You're going to run into this scenario where people are going to have that realization if they don't have these cards, or they want to get extra copies, or they're brand new to the game, therefore don't have the cards, those sort of things. So we'll see how this plays out as we get closer. I don't know that anyone is, I mean, of course, people are speculating a bit. People, we're talking generally, speculating, oh, well, this is going to be good in set 2, so I want to stock up on arbitrary card so that I can, make it, flip them all afterwards. We don't have the full set yet. There are certainly spoilers that it's quite obvious this will be a good card. It's going to be archetype defining, or it will show up in a bunch of decks. Therefore, other things that would be paired alongside it probably see their value increase. But it's a difficult judgment call to make at this point because, again, tomorrow they could release a card that completely invalidates a power card that they previewed a month ago because all of a sudden the meta flips, or, I doubt in set that it would be strictly better, but you never know. Stranger things have happened. So this is what we're looking at for this particular week. I really want to get into set 2 stuff, maybe talk about some of my own thoughts. I'm going to be doing that on stream. When this goes up, it'll be yesterday's stream. If that goes well, maybe I'll put some excerpts up on YouTube, so check that out. And also keep an eye out for our last showdown breakdown of the season. But that's going to do it for this time. So as always, everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.